In 2022, I left my job to chase my dream of becoming a full-time professional triathlete. I've been racing as a pro for 2 years now, and this last training block has been one of my biggest yet. Averaging 25 hours per week, swimming 21k, biking over 10 hours with 2 brutal VO2 max sessions and running 80k. It's been intense, but every session is one step closer to my goals. Here's how the last 3 weeks went, what I've learned and what's coming next. What's happening YouTube? I hope you guys are well. Let's kick off with my statistics from my last training block. I trained with a 3-1 rhythm, meaning 3 weeks of load and 1 week easy. Let's go into the details of the first training week. Each of those weeks consists of a total of 25 hours of volume with 20 to 21 kilometers of swimming, which equals to 6 hours, 10 hours 40 of cycling, running duration is 80 kilometers, 2 hours of strength training, and that'll be it. In any of those 3 weeks, I have 2 intensity days, which is the Tuesday and the Friday, as well as a hard swim on Sunday. My swimming has been solid. I've been swimming 5 times a week, as I said, 21k of volume, which doesn't tell the whole story always, but I've been really improving with my new swim coach as well. I really feel I'm hitting better paces there than ever before, developing speed, especially on the technical side, using fins and other things to really get high speeds in the water for me, which some of those were like between 63 and 65 seconds for 100 meters on long course, which is a 50-meter pool. That's pretty fast for me, so I gotta get that speed up because your threshold is always based on the high speed you create in the water. Then regarding the bike, I had 2 harder sessions a week, both focused on VO2 max. It's a 3rd block of VO2 max for me actually. I've been improving pretty well on that. That was something I've been training a long time. So first of those key session was on the Tuesday morning, and that is here the 6 sets of 40-20s, meaning 6 times, we can go into it, 6 times 8 minutes of 40 seconds at 420 watts and 20 seconds at 220 watts. I felt pretty good with those, as you can see with the zones as well. I hit the VO2 max heart rate there as well, that's really important, and the power range was also good, so pretty happy. Then the second key session of the bike I did every single week is the Friday evening session. That is 6 times 6 minutes VO2 max. We can go to that as well. I felt pretty good with that one. The legs are always a bit worked, of course, with the total week, but I did rep number 1 to 4 at 385 watts, which is over my threshold. And then the last 3 I still felt good, so I did to 410 watts, which is for sure PB for me. When we go into the zones as well, we can see I'm hitting some nice zone 4 efforts there for my heart rate, which has to be over 157, and power wise as well. So the bike didn't change much, so each of those 3 weeks on the Tuesday I continued 6 sets of 40-20s, but on the Friday sessions I for sure got stronger, especially on the last Friday, although it's the 3rd week. I actually did 6 times 6 minutes at 400 watts with 3-minute easy. That is this session here. So 6 times 6 minutes, 400 watts is for sure PB for me, and I felt really strong in that as well. The legs are of course hurting and working, but super happy that I hit that. Then let's go towards the run. As I said, I ran 80k each week of those 3 weeks load, which I will also continue actually in the easy week now, just without the intensity. For the run, I only have 1 hard key session a week, which is on a Tuesday, on the same day as you can see here as the 40-20s, the VO2 max bike set. I do it on a treadmill, so that is 12 times 1k threshold, very heart rate and feel based as well. But what we aimed for now is just hitting that 340 minute per k pace for 12 times 1k. When we look at my heart rate as well, it's really cool because I'm just hitting the zone 4 there. So I'm really staying under the threshold heart rate, which is key, that you really train the high aerobic system. 12 times 1k, 17k total a session. Happy with that. Then the second harder session, which is not intensity but still a significant load, is the long run every single Sunday. That one I will also progress now in length. So here on that Sunday I hit 24 kilometers at zone 2 effort. That was the goal. So zone 2 for me, I hit the 407 minute per k pace there with the warm-up. The first 1 to 2 kilometers always really easy, 5 minutes per k or slower, whatever my legs feel like. And I hit some really good times there, which important is especially the heart rate with that. When you look at that, it is in zone 2, which is really important, just actually on the lower side, so 142 average for that run. Then second week, same run, But we progressed it, still 12k of load of threshold, but we went to 8 times 1.5k at threshold, still on a treadmill, so a little difference. The total load is still 12k, but 8 times 1.5 is a bit harder. I noticed the difference, but I still felt really good, really controlled. Also heart rate responded well despite the heat of the treadmill. Super happy with that. And then the last Tuesday hard run was 6 times 2k threshold. That was the idea, that I kind of feel 6 times 2k threshold at this 340 pace with 1% incline on the treadmill, that I feel strong and robust in that session. And I did, felt really good, and heart rate just hit 170 despite the heat. Of course, in week 3 you always have your heart rate probably a bit suppressed because of some fatigue, but still I felt super controlled, heart rate wasn't jumping, and I felt really strong. Then let's get into the key takeaways and lessons learned from this training block. So anything regarding setbacks, for example, injuries, fatigue and mental struggles. Injuries, I didn't have anything. The orthopedic injuries I've been anyways very good with, but I noticed for sure with this new load of 80k running, together with the hard cycling, my legs for sure felt fatigued. So the easy runs I really just went by feel and went a lot of times much slower than when you have fresh legs, for example. So for example, with fresh legs I run 4:30 minutes per K for an easy run, but now I went to 5:30, sometimes 6 minutes, because the legs were just tired and I knew, don't push it. You need your legs for the key sessions, just run the mileage. Fatigue-wise, for sure, a big difference I noticed with having big carb dinners before the intensity sessions. So what I always do now is have a really high carb dinner the night before my big days. So really make sure, take as much as I can. I make a pasta bolognese and I stuff as much pasta in as I can. And I feel a big difference in those sections then. You really want to be fully topped up on carbohydrates. Mental struggles, something of course we all have as athletes. It's not easy training like that. If you're working full-time, whatever you're doing, I worked full-time before and trained after work. It is a tough sport. That's why it's called endurance sports. You have to endure. Yes, it was for sure challenging, but I think because I have such a positive momentum for me right now with improving, it is, although it's physically demanding, easy for me to get out the door, even when I'm tired, because I feel like I'm finally on the track for such a long time. Especially 2024, I've been trying, failing more to be honest than succeeding, because I had to find this blueprint for me in elite sports for training. I had to find out, how do I train, how do I recover and do the things necessary mentally, physically to be a champion in the future. So overall takeaway, I definitely feel my aerobic endurance is improving in all sports. In swim, I'm definitely getting more speed, learning the mechanics, how to actually create speed, which for me as a non-swimmer growing up is something that is not easy to do, but I keep an open mind and work hard on it, have a great coach now and feel really confident there. So regarding my next training block and what's coming up next, we're going to be changing up the 2 bike sessions that I had VO2 max for now 3 blocks, as I said. We're going to be changing them. One of them is for sure going to be threshold, 4 to 6 times 10 minutes of threshold, and the other session will probably be 30-30s, so still some VO2 max to keep the high end going. The swim will more or less continue like that. We have a really good way there with some speed, 2 hard sessions and the rest technical development. Then on the run, we will increase the mileage of the long run for sure by around 15 minutes each week, get that volume up of the long run, which is super key for long distance triathlon obviously. And then that key session on the Tuesday will actually swap to VO2 max. So I will start with 4 times 5 minutes VO2 max. All the details coming in the next vlog. So the next video on Tuesday will actually go into my RAM test. I will do a FTP threshold RAM test with lactate here at home with a 5-minute protocol of increasing watts and see how my training improved. So this journey isn't just about me, it's about inspiring and pushing endurance athletes like you to train harder, dream bigger and chase your own limits. Whether you're a triathlete, runner or cyclist, we are all in this together. If you found this video helpful or motivating, feel free to subscribe to the channel, lots more videos coming. And if you want to support my mission and get the videos ad-free and more, consider becoming a channel member for just $5 a month. It goes a really long way for helping me doing this full time. Also, if you're looking for coaching to take your endurance training to the next level, I also offer coaching. Check the link in the description to learn more. So drop a comment with your latest training breakthroughs or anything you're struggling with. It's better if we share this together and kind of push through together. See you in the next one. Keep training hard.